The hardest and worst paid jobs in the world. I think this is dubbed, but YouTube has a pretty good dubbing system now.
Some of the hardest, most dangerous, and lowest paid jobs in the world are found in Dhaka, the most densely populated city on the planet, where there is so
What is the other area? Isn't it Dubai has like one of the worst working conditions, even though it's one of the most rich cities? Because they have like no... I was watching a video about this the other day. Dubai gives like no tax exemption. Like they give tax exemptions like to the fullest extent in certain areas. So that's why Dubai's so rich. Most people think it's because of oil. Dubai's not rich because of oil. It's because they just build a bunch of nice shit and then convince rich people to move their own personal property and businesses there because then they can function without tax implications. So Dubai is just like a haven for rich people to make even more money because they don't pay anything. They just make money. So they prop up the city. Like even gold. Like I think it's like one third of gold like flows through Dubai.
so many people that hiring a man for a day is common. It's cheaper than buying a six-pack of beer.
Oh, hiring a man for a day is common. Is that still used in the United States? Like there's handymen that you can hire, but are there people that are just like waiting for work every day? I feel like that's much less common today. Like people just post it up being like, I'll do any job for the day.
Than buying a six-pack of beer. These workers are paid approximately $7 per day. They work
That is horrible.
8 to 10 hours a day. Some
So they're getting less than $1 an hour. How do you live? I don't understand how you live on that. I understand that in, Dhaka or Bangladesh and other countries in general, Dhaka is the city in Bangladesh, but I understand how in their countries, the cost of living is lower, but it's definitely not that low to where it's $7 a day. Like, even if you're buying the cheapest food, you have the cheapest place, like $7.
using their physical strength to earn as little as $6. For this reason, machines are not used for construction or road work. In this country, it is cheaper to hire humans than to rent machines. Good morning, afternoon, or evening.
I'm gonna, bro, but $6? $6? What other jobs do people have in Dhaka that aren't like low-paying wages?
I hope you're all doing great. Friends, today we are in the 5th most densely populated country on Earth. We are in Bangladesh, a country that ranks just behind nations like Singapore and Monaco. This means that among large countries, this is the most densely...
What the fuck? Why is he staring at him like that?
This means that among
Bro, he actually looked him up and down.
everywhere you look, there are people. And as an extra fact, we are in Dhaka, the country's capital, and the most densely populated city in the world. In an area like this, it is estimated that there are approximately 150,000 people per square kilometer.
150,000 people per square kilometer. Like, what is that to New York City? How many do you think New York City is? People per square kilometer. 11,000. So it's like 14 times as many people per square kilometer as New York City.
Has led to an unimaginable and cruel problem. With so many men willing to work, machines are considered an unnecessary luxury. Companies and the government prefer to hire hundreds of workers rather than rent a machine because it is cheaper to pay a man for a week than to rent a machine for a day. For this reason, the streets of Dhaka
Oh, I mean, yeah, dude. Pay a guy $7. You know how much it costs to fucking run like a bulldozer?
are built with picks and shovels instead of drills, and workers carry tons of materials on their backs instead of using forklifts. Even places like Dubai have...
I mean, this is just like... this guy is in sandals carrying fucking stones. Like, this dude's barefoot in, like, casual wear.
Instead of using forklifts. Even places like Dubai have imported workers from Bangladesh to build their incredible skyscrapers. One of the main...
Yeah, but I've heard that in Dubai, the working conditions are so fucking unbearable because they're still getting paid nothing, and they're allowed to import workers from anywhere. They're getting paid nothing, and it's 100, and you're in the desert. You're in 100. Imagine having to build stuff with like bad safety quality in like 120-degree weather.
Major problems caused by extreme overpopulation, which very few people talk about, is the lack.
But it's Dubai. No, Dubai is very rich, but Dubai is very rich. Dude, the majority of people that live in Dubai aren't even like from Dubai or the UAE. I think it's like 80% or 85% of people that live in Dubai aren't from Dubai. Like the majority of people that move there that are rich or for tax things. Like they're people that make money and move there to make more money.
There are so many people that the job market is oversaturated, making it nearly impossible to find work. On top of that, the overpopulation issue in this city isn't due to a high birth rate. It's not that
he just hit a screeny suey.
birth rate. It's not that there are a ton of babies being born every year. In fact, the birth rate is relatively low. Instead, about 700,000 people migrate from rural areas of Bangladesh to Dhaka every year. This makes things even worse because it becomes harder to find a job, and housing becomes more expensive. For example, imagine that in your town or city, there are 10 taxi drivers covering the entire area and 3 barbers. Now imagine that suddenly, 500 taxi drivers and 300 barbers arrive. The only way to compete is by drastically...
See, like, what the fuck is that? What the hell is he doing? Nah, I can't even pay attention, bro. I'm like... He's making a point that there's just an overpopulation of people and workers, so they can't get paid anything because the supply is way more than the demand for certain things. This dude just pulled up mid-vid. Just actually walked directly into the frame, standing there. Like, what are we doing?
Drivers and 300 barbers arrive. The only way to compete is by drastically lowering prices, and even then, some people will still be left without work. This is what happens in this city. That's why, on every corner, you see...
Bro, and they all just stare at him. I'd be like, bro, you realize, like, you're in frame, right? Like, you're on the film just staring.
Groups of people waiting for their chance, waiting for their moment, to work, making labor extremely cheap. This is why Dhaka is cruelly called the City of Machines, because men here are said to work like machines, working 12 to 18 hours a day for an
18 hours a day? I feel like that's not even physically fucking possible. Working 18 hours straight, manual labor? Bro, you're gonna die when you're 30. Holy shit. You leave 6 hours after work. What do they fucking pass out and then go back to work?
Absurdly low wage. In the end, hiring people is cheaper than using machines for almost everything. Right now, we are looking at a building under construction that will be 7
stories high. Is this like safe though? That's my question. I understand they're hiring other contractors for like from Bangladesh and Dhaka to come to Dubai, but do they have like specific structural standards? Because yeah, you have 100 men and it's cheaper than like one piece of equipment, but I don't know if I'm trusting the foundations of this building.
Stories tall. It's massive, and it's incredible to see how the foundations, which will be buried maybe 20 or 30 meters underground, are being dug by men. There's no machinery involved, as is common in most large construction projects, because it's much cheaper to pay men to do the work than to bring in an excavator, for example. These workers are paid...
But I feel like this, even if it's cheaper, doesn't this take them longer?
Is that this boy in pink looks underage to me, as does the one in blue. Hello, hello. Yes, definitely. Hello. He must be underage, and he's already working in construction. With so many people, space is scarce, and rent prices are high. Opening a shop is nearly impossible.
But I always wonder, like, in conditions in cities like this, is like the upcoming youth aspiring to leave Bangladesh in its entirety, or at least Dhaka? Because if you're in school, I'm assuming you're probably trying to get a career elsewhere outside of manual labor.
That's why the streets turn into makeshift workshops. This is where shoemakers work, where electricians repair appliances on street corners, and where vendors set up shop even under parked trucks.
Like, how much do you think that guy's getting paid? An electrician? That's not like an easy job. You have to like that's like a trained skill. Like, that's a skilled worker. That's not just manual labor.
Appliances on street corners, and where vendors set up shop even under parked trucks just to have a place to work and sell. Every square inch of land here is owned by someone. For example, it's not uncommon to find a barber working right on the edge of the street. He tells us that a haircut like this can cost 50 cents, and a full cut, including beard trimming, costs 80 cents.
You think you could do like a low taper fade? Yeah. I've always, we've watched videos of guys get haircuts on like street corners in Bangladesh and India, and bro, they'll give some good ass haircuts with scissors and like a razor blade on a comb, and they'll give you a fade.
You can even find doctors on the street. He tells us that he earns approximately $120 a month working here on the sidewalk.
$120 a month. He's a doctor. Is he a licensed doctor? I see. That's where I go. I don't know if this. I don't know if this man has 8-10 years of schooling. Like, he's a doctor, but I feel like more so he's like just the trusted man with knowledge. Like, I bet he knows more than I do, but...
And he doesn't just do things like measure blood pressure. He even conducts blood sugar tests.
Ooh. Oh, I thought they were going to say, like, blood transfusions. I was going to say, is he fucking giving people blood here?
And provides initial treatments for diabetics. A blood test costs about $1. And this analysis to check my blood pressure costs around 20 cents. Okay? We're good. Our blood pressure is like new. For example, on this side of the river, we find someone selling street food. Over here, someone is selling tea.
I just don't like beans, bro. Oh my God. I just don't like beans, man. The idea of just that is a fat ass bowl of beans. Ugh.
Someone
just sitting out.
Is selling tea. In another small space, someone is selling homemade bread.
And cigarettes. The morning bread and cig combo.
Space. Someone is selling
Ooh, Lucky Strikes. Wow.
Made bread. And if we...
I see that one guy. I've only smoked 2 cigarettes in my life. Don't smoke cigarettes. I always see that one guy. Who's that one dude that smokes cigarettes for a living? On TikTok and YouTube. He raves about Lucky Strikes. He always says how much he loves Lucky Strikes.
Keep walking toward the riverbank. We find someone who has a small market, thank God, because I need some water. Salam alaikum. Costa Rica. Yes. Thank you. Bangladesh. Beautiful country. There's even a mechanic shop.
What do you think that guy said?
Bangladesh. Beautiful country. There's
What was he? Nah, bro. Leave that clip in. I want to know what the fuck that conversation was. He looked like he had something good to say.
Beautiful country. There's even a mechanic shop here by the riverbank. These men have set up a bicycle repair shop right on the edge. Look at all the customers they have. Here's another one fixing a bike, and look at all the ones in line. And back there, the river. The official minimum wage in Bangladesh is 12 takas, 15,500 takas per month. Approximately
minimum wage is $1,200 a year. Are they getting taxed on that?
$100, meaning that a large part of the population lives on $3.3 a day or less. One of the hardest, most dangerous, and worst paid jobs in Bangladesh can be found here, on the banks of the Buriganga River. This is one of the toughest jobs in the city.
Are they welders and they're getting paid the worst?
These workers are responsible for repairing or dismantling ships, depending on their condition. Ships arrive, they are placed here, and if they are completely unusable, they are taken apart, piece by piece. All the iron is removed to be reused for construction. They sell the propellers, they sell everything separately. Or, if the ship can still be used, they repair it and put it back in the water. This job is in high demand because this port here is the port of the largest river.
Bro, like, I would never want this job, but I'm saying, like, I would love to just experience this for like even 4 hours. Just to see what they have to do, you know what I mean? Not like a dirty jobs show type thing, but if I always want to travel the world, I would love to just go to some guy and be like, yo, can I work for you for like 2 hours? No, I'm not like 2 hours. I'm not saying I want to do an 18-hour shift with them, but like I'd be like, let me just see what you do.
Tasks, from the lowest jobs like sanding or painting ships to even underwater welding, which is a very specialized
Underwater welding, they're getting paid bad wages. Isn't underwater welding like a really hard profession?
job requiring different machinery and other complexities.
My name is Kabjul. I have been working in this shipyard for 30 years. I feel happy with my job. I work 8 hours a day and earn $6 a day. I'm very happy with my work, and there is nothing I would like to change about it.
Bro, $6 a day. $6 a day, bro. I can't. Like, dude, this is going to sound so stupid or like relate it to this. One Twitch sub is $6. I'm not making $6, but you spent that guy's wage to sub, and he made that in 8 hours. 8 hours. It took him to make $6.
All my life.
One of the most impressive things about this interview is that I asked him what the worst part of this job
It's all cheaper there, though. Bro, that's what everybody says, but it's not 500 times cheaper. Everything's cheaper, yeah, but like even comparably, the things that are cheaper are also of worse quality. It's like there's a middle ground, right? Like there's certain countries where things are cheaper, the cost of living is cheaper, but it still is like on par in quality. Once you get to the point where workers are making like literally $5 a day, $6 a day, it's just worse. Like even if it is cheaper, it's not good.
and he said there is no worst part. He loves this job. You have no problems?
No problem.
No problem? You love it?
I love this job.
Amazing. People do their jobs happily. This is truly impressive. I don't know how many times I've said this today, but workers here in Bangladesh, it's no wonder they are called machines. Look at how they work without any kind of safety measures. Just look here. These guys are hanging with some makeshift setup. They don't have ladders. They don't have scaffolding. They don't
Yeah, and if you fucking shatter your leg, you're not getting like paid leave. They're not helping pay for your injuries. Like you just snapped your arm.
In factories, they work without anything to filter plastic fumes. Of course, this is part of something very cruel. In a way, the fact that there are no regulations, no laws providing them with certain
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. They're welding and they're not wearing masks.
guarantees is very harsh, but they work like machines. Look at everyone here, working and repairing ships, and no one complains. Out of all the people we've interviewed today, they all say it's Finn, that their job is fine.
My name is Muhammad Masudillah. I have been working at this port for 6 months. I work 8 hours a day and earn $4 a day. Most of the time I work with a hammer. Every time I hit the ship,
Yeah, I'm hearing too much right now. I have no idea what he's saying.
it makes a very loud noise. And this can damage my hearing. That is the worst part.
Let me translate. It is the part of the job. I actually, dude, I'm almost sure that's right. It is the part of the trabajo's work. Part of the work.
My job.
This job we are about to see sometimes requires up
Worst part of the work. Oh,
to 18 hours of
it's close.
non-stop work. What they do here is take apart pieces from dismantled ships, like this propeller, for example, which is broken and no
Well, how much is that selling for?
longer works. They have to take it, put it into a furnace, which, in fact, is currently boiling. And there's no kind of safety here. No, nothing indicates anything.
Wait, that's a furnace? Like, you could just fall into that. Like, if you're, like, talking to your friend, just walking, you could dead-ass just step into that and die.
Here, they melt the propeller and turn it into liquid metal. Then, inside here, there's a guy in charge of digging out the shape of the propeller, like the one we can see in the back. Once the shape is ready, they pour the liquid metal, or this liquid material, so that the propeller comes out new, completely repaired. Sometimes they work up to 15, 16, 18 hours, depending on demand, and they earn $130 a month.
But they're doing better than the average worker.
Approximately 75,000 colognes. Among everything we've seen, we haven't even mentioned the overwhelming amount of trash generated by this extreme overpopulation. Just look at what we have here. In the background, the Buriganga River, one of the most polluted rivers on the entire planet, one of the few that has already died biologically due to pollution. And on top of that, Bangladesh is the most polluted country on Earth. That's something we'll explore further in a full video, so subscribe and show this content a lot of love if you like it. It's quite difficult to come all the way here. One of the most oversaturated jobs is that of freight transporters. Usually, people who didn't study or didn't have the opportunity to learn anything end up doing this type of work.
Wait, bro, the people had to go to schooling to become welders, and they're still making 130 a day? Or not a day, a week? Or no, not a week, a month? Oh my God. $130 a month.
However, they are an essential part of the city's transportation and logistics system. Many work transporting raw materials to small plastic factories.
My name is Bello Haljan. I work as a porter. I work 12 to 14 hours a day and earn between...
Well, okay, I'm going to say this. They have a minimum wage of $100 a month, but that's if you're employed. A lot of these workers probably are self-employed, right? So the government's not paying them like something to a subsidy or whatever. Like they're just getting paid whatever they make. So they could make less than that.
12 to $15 daily. But it's very little money to support our family.
Some simply transport whatever they are asked to.
My name is Abdul Malik. I work in a garment factory. I work 10 to 12 hours a day and earn between $8 and $9 daily. I feel very happy with my lifestyle.
Others transport loads of up to 1 ton.
My name is Shalom. I've worked for 30 years with no set.
Do you think they're actually happy? Like, they're all saying they love their job. That's so shocking to me. Like, to be like, yeah, I love this career. I think maybe they don't dislike. I think they're in better positions than other people. So comparatively, I'm happy. This is a good job.
Transport loads of up to 1 ton.
My name is Shalom. I've worked for 30 years with no set hours, sometimes 10 to 12 a day. I earn $18 to $20 daily and pay my assistant. I love my
He's making way more than everybody else. He's making like $600 a month.
job and hope to do it for life.
This makes no sense. Look at the load this porter is carrying. It's as if he were a truck. These are the people who pull carts here in Bangladesh. And look at the size of the cart and the load. The load this man is carrying is so large that it has collapsed traffic. In fact, look, people
that guy's getting pissed.
are yelling. Everyone is angry with him because the load is hitting things as he moves and he can't pass. On top of that, people still throw themselves into the street, making things worse. What we're about to see.
This would give me... I would never be able to do this. I could try and do the fucking welding work for a day and, like, just hammer metal. Oh, my God, dude, the anxiety. Like, everyone's staring at you, like, move out of the fucking way. He's standing in the middle of the road with a fat-ass cart. Everybody's beeping, like, move, dude. Oh, my God, I would run away. I would leave the cart. I wouldn't be able to do this.
What we're about to see breaks my heart.
Like, trying to be like, oh, yeah, I have to walk this a mile, and it's going to be like this the entire way.
Because this entire problem even affects children. We're about to enter a plastic factory. And
oh, my God, don't tell me kids are working at plastic factories.
even with a mask on, I can feel the plastic on my face. It's entering through my nose. And here, we find a child who might be around 10 years old.
10? 10? He's 10 and he's working at a fucking plastic factory?
The plastic pieces coming out of this machine. Take them out and polish them without any kind of protection, not even a mask. And behind him, they are also making plastic lids. This is a factory owned by someone who hires these workers. And for example, the child, who we don't even know if he's telling the truth.
Oh my God, bro. And he's not on work records, so he probably gets paid less. Like, minimum wage was what? $3 a day. It was a $3 a day. $3.30 a day. They could probably pay him like $1.
Earns approximately $70 a month, working 6 to 8 hours a day here. In Dhaka, while some work up to 18 hours a day for miserable wages, there are others who don't even have access to a job. The Hijra are a transgender community recognized as the third official gender in Bangladesh. And here, there are no opportunities for them. They have to survive by begging on the streets and selling their bodies. People commonly feel the need to give them money because of the situation they live in. Due to the lack of space and rising housing prices.
So they're not allowed to get hired because they're trans, so they have to beg for money and become prostitutes?
Many people sleep in their workplaces, in trucks, in carts, under staircases.
Well, why is this guy in a cage?
Under staircases. Those who manage to afford an apartment must live overcrowded in very small rooms, or some even live under bridges.
My name is Mr. Farouk. I have lived here for 30 years. I live here
Lived under the bridge for 30 years?
because I don't have the money for an apartment and haven't been able to find a job. So I stay here. It's very difficult to live with 25 people here during the rainy season. The mosquitoes have been a huge problem, and living here has been difficult because of the dirt and all the trash. We are suffering here, but we cannot afford to live in an apartment.
Due to extreme overpopulation,
Oh my god, bro. Holy shit. He's been living under a bridge for 30... Somebody said stop having kids. I was just about to ask, why is he continuing to have children?
hospitals are overwhelmed. This hospital behind me is a public hospital in Bangladesh, and it's estimated
More workers? Well, that wasn't... It's not uncommon historically for people to have a lot of kids because those kids can help support you. But in a situation this dire, I don't think having more kids is helping you. It's probably making things worse. Because then he has to take care of more people, and the jobs they could get can't really help him because they could barely help themselves.
private hospitals are inaccessible. They are unaffordable for most of the population. I visited chaotic and
I mean,
overcrowded
dude, they're getting like imported fruits though.
places, but never in my life have I seen anything like this. Look, the traffic doesn't move. Sometimes people can't even walk because traffic blocks this small pedestrian path. If I want to cross, I have to climb over a public transport vehicle. And when a car tries to pass, everything collapses.
What's the point of having public transport vehicles if it's dead ass slower than walking? If it's straight up standstill traffic, why would anybody pay a taxi bike man to take them somewhere? Because they're just going to sit for 4 hours.
That's what I mean. When a car comes through, everyone has to squeeze to the sides to let it pass. People tap on the car, warning the driver to be careful, but no one gets mad. I'm the only one completely shocked. For them, it's normal, just part of daily life. Friends, markets in this
Oh
part
my
of
god, barefoot on the fucking fish. Oh my god.
the world are insane, especially here in Bangladesh. These are the cheap butcher shops where most people buy chicken, fish, and shrimp because supermarkets are expensive.
Bro, the raw chicken hanging out at room temp.
Only for the wealthy. So here is where you find meat, vegetables, and even
How do you not get sick from that?
live animals for sale. Interestingly, in
my
most
God.
markets like this that I visited, the smell is usually so strong that you'd want to run away, but not here. Honestly, it feels like a relatively clean market. They sell chicken here for
I feel like it would just smell like a fish market. Why do they already have them? Okay, this is going to sound even more fucked, but like, why do they have them pre-cut? Like, I would feel safe walking up and going, that one. And then he kills it on the spot and hands it to me.
50 colognes per kilo. And something really curious, they have pigeons. At first, I thought they were selling them for food. I asked how much they cost, but they told me no, they're pets. In Islam, or at least here in Bangladesh, pigeons are believed to bring good luck. So, some businesses keep pigeons as pets. What you're seeing behind me right now is a fruit and vegetable auction. They're
Dude, this guy. I like this guy. I like this dude. Coming in. I feel like a lot of them be staring like mean mugging the camera. This dude's like, selfie.
fruit and
He just posted up.
vegetable auction. They're unloading a container, and people are placing bids. All these people standing on the side of the road, there's barely any space. Look at how things get when trucks pass by. Everyone is bidding on the produce the sellers are offering.
Wow, so there's no, it's all fucking auction based.
This
Do you think these are vendors or people buying them for themselves? Because usually you would auction off things that are then going to be sold at market by businessmen. But I feel like it's a mixture. You could buy a crate of fucking grapes for your family.
is a wholesale market. It's insane.
At first glance, the streets of Bangladesh have a very shady business going on.
You see thousands of these little cards scattered on the ground. And from what I've been
You know the biggest loser thing you could do? You know that one guy from Storage Wars that just goes, yep, and he just tries to raise the price and then pin it on somebody else so they have to pay more? The biggest loser thing you could do is go to DACA and just bid up everything. That would be like, oh.
At first glance, the streets of Bangladesh have a very shady business going on.
You see thousands of these little cards scattered on the ground. And from what I've been told, if you call, you can get anything, from an escort to drugs.
Of all kinds. And you might wonder, if these cards
So people walk around and just throw them on the ground, so if you're ever desperate, you'll just call it.
are everywhere with phone numbers, why doesn't the police do anything? Well, it's because these are big criminal organizations that bribe the police, and that's how this kind of business operates.
Here in this country, the wind is starting to blow because the
So the police do nothing, and these guys just like throw... I see the yellow card right there. So there's just yellow cards all over the fucking city, and if you're ever like, I want drugs, you just pick it up, call the number, and then meet up with a guy.
monsoon season is about to begin in Bangladesh, bringing total chaos. When the wind blows, the dust becomes unbearable. It gets in your eyes, your throat, your nose. You can't breathe. I don't know if you can see it, but all that haze is pollution and dust. This is something I never imagined witnessing, and now I'm seeing an electrician fixing a power issue in the middle of this tangled mess of electrical cables that
Oh my god.
cover the city.
Dude, what's fucking wild is this is also how in GeoGuessr you could tell that you're in like Bangladesh or I think Sri Lanka.
Well, my friends, this is where today's incredible and shocking video ends. Tell me below, what did you think about everything we saw today?
Oh, fucking wild, dude. I mean, that was a good-ass video, but oh my god. Oh, all the comments are in a different language. Incredible how we take things for granted. Oh my god, yeah, dude. People working 18 hours to make $100 a month. Yikes.